Okay, now let's share the screen. And I want, can you all see this screen?
I just see you still.
Okay, hold on.
Me too.
Okay, now, can you see the screen?
Yes. Yep, got it.
All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to start and then we're going to record how to survive the Jewish holidays with ease. Now, I know that I say that because it's easy for me, but I want to make it easy for all of you, because even though I have been a dietitian for over 20 years and I have the experience of making it easy, it is really for people that aren't doing it or feel overwhelmed or just are too busy. There are things that you can do to take into account to just make the month of the holiday easier. Okay, so okay, how is it going to let me? All right, now Shabbat and the Jewish holidays are always at the center of our Jewish cuisine and culture. But what's interesting about it and what is so important and what makes it really hard for some people is that you're trying to incorporate your traditional family recipes with special recipes that are special for your family and to keep a connection to your grandparents, your parents, or whatever. And you're trying to mold what you're cooking in a time that you're busy, you're working, and it's Shabbat every week. Friday comes quickly. The holidays are the entire month of September. And you really need to take into account all your traditions, all the special foods that you are used to eating on these holidays, and still be connected to what you're doing and connected to yourself and your family. So that is the challenge that I see that everybody has. Oh, why? Okay. Why won't it let me? I'm certainly, okay, now I need to move this. All right, there we go. Okay, first step first is planning. Okay, it is very important to plan. You need to know what you're doing in order to get there. So I always think of planning as your first step. So like you're going to plan, not even starting with your menu, but also just plan what you're doing. Like you're going to plan, are you having company? What days are you having company? What days do you need to have extra food? Just start thinking in your head about that big global plan of what is going on over the holiday period, but before you plan your menu. And the first thing to do is to plan your menu. Now, I am sending you all in the emails that you get. The email afterwards is going to be a link for you to download a guide. In that guide, I am giving you a holiday planner. So I'm going to give you the materials that you need to plan for your menu. You're going to have a thing for shopping and stacking your pantry for what you need. You're going to have lists where you can write your menu in and space to put your shopping list and notes and really help you plan the holidays. But the first step is really to plan your menu so that when you shop, you can shop one time for that whole holiday. So you want to plan your shopping list for meals that you need for the whole holiday, but you also want to plan your shopping list to stock your pantry so that you have everything on hand that you need for the whole month of September. Okay, I want to encourage you to expand your repertoire. Really try, and when you're planning your menu, maybe you're going to have your traditional foods, maybe you're going to have, the foods that your family likes, but try and throw in like a healthy alternative. Like maybe you want to try a new vegetable, or you want to try a recipe that I give you, or like Jean wants to try a new honey cake. Expand your repertoire, throw something in, because you want to make it exciting. Okay, you want that holiday to be not only delicious, not only traditional, but you want it to be exciting, and you want it to have other things as well, not just what is on your plate usually. So keep it interesting, keep it exciting. You want people to still enjoy it, but you want them to be inspired as well. I encourage you, when you're planning your menu, to consider your leftovers. Now, and I mean consider leftovers, I'm not talking about like just heating up the same food. But for example, if you are roasting vegetables for the first night of Rosh Hashanah. What can you do with those vegetables at lunch the next day? Can you add them into a salad? Can you make them as part of a sandwich? Can you stock them in your refrigerator and use them at the meal the next day for, in a frittata or in a stew or in your soup? So consider using your leftovers so that you don't have so much waste. But when you plan your menu, even just planning to know that, okay, I'm going to have extra broccoli because I'm making double, so that if Rosh Hashanah starts on Monday night, that Tuesday for lunch, I can put that broccoli in a frittata, or I can put that broccoli in a stir fry, or I can put that broccoli in a salad. So it's kind of like considering your leftovers in advance so that you have a plan of what to use them for, so you are not overwhelmed with, what do I do with all these leftovers? I have so many leftovers, I can't use them. That is something that usually stresses out most people when they're cooking for a holiday. Like, they don't want to cook too little because they want to have enough, but they don't want to cook too much because they don't want to have too many leftovers. And the problem with that is it can be stressful. In my house, it's not stressful because I repurpose my leftovers all the time. So you will see, if you're following me on my Facebook post, my Instagram post, you will see that I do use my leftovers. Sharon, from some of my programs, I actually repurpose things to use again and again, but I do use my leftovers as part of my meal planning technique as to what I'm planning for that holiday, and like the second day or the third day of that holiday. And when I say that look ahead, I mean, like, look ahead with your menu, look ahead with what you're cooking, and figure out a plan for what you could possibly use that's left over the night before, and write it down so you have it, so that you feel organized. Okay, now how do I? Okay, meal prep. When you are considering a month-long holiday, typical meal prep is getting containers, shopping, cleaning and chopping your food, cooking your food, storing it, preparing your stocks and your soups, your sauces and your marinade, and your salad dressing. What I want you to think of in preparing for the whole month of holidays is what meal prep you can do before each holiday to make it easier for that holiday. So for example, for Rosh Hashanah, that's going to be the first holiday. Can you, in advance, a week before Rosh Hashanah, make your soup and freeze it? Soup freezes well. Can you make some of your marinades a couple days before and put them in the refrigerator? Can you make your salad dressings a couple days before and keep them in the refrigerator? Can you clean and chop your vegetables 2 days before Rosh Hashanah, so that when you start to cook for Rosh Hashanah, your vegetables are all ready for you to just start cooking and start using? So I want you to think of meal prep not as the daily meal prep that we do when we prep each week for the week, but more as a meal prep of starting 3, 4, 5 days before Rosh Hashanah and prepping what you can prep that can stay in the fridge, and maybe starting a week or two, which is now, before the holiday, what can you prep and you can freeze? Because you can absolutely make casseroles now and freeze them. You can make a kugel now and you can freeze it. You can make a soup now and you can freeze it. You can make things like in puff pastry. If you sauteed meat and had it in puff pastry, you can do that and you can freeze it. There are a lot of things that you can freeze. You can even prepare your meat. So you can take your chicken cutlets or your meat or whatever you're going to cook, and you can prepare your marinade, and you can put your meat or your chicken in a Ziploc bag with your marinade and freeze it that way, so that when you take it out, all you have to do is cook it. It's already marinated, and you just defrost it with the marinade. It tenderizes the meat a little bit, and then you can just cook it. That's another technique that you can do. Okay, storing food. Pre-washed vegetables will last 3 to 5 days in your refrigerator. So if you are prepping for Rosh Hashanah, if you don't want to get fresh vegetables and blanch and freeze them so they can stay frozen, so they can use them as a later use, you can get vegetables. You can dry them, wash them, dry them, cut them, and leave them for 3 to 5 days in your refrigerator before you cook them. That's what I mean by meal prep. If you're going to meal prep for Rosh Hashanah, prepping 3 to 5 days before so that you have it ready and then you can cook it. If you find that you buy extra vegetables and you have too many, you can blanch them in hot water, put them in a Ziploc and freeze them. They will last 8 to 12 months. Freezing food. If you have fresh fish, you can freeze it for a month. If you have chicken, you can freeze it for about 3 months, and meat you can freeze up to 6 months. So this is important in stocking your pantry for the month of September, because if your butcher is far away, if you just want to make one big butcher order for the month of September, you can get your fish and your chicken and your meat and you can freeze it. Just make sure that you follow these guidelines of I don't freeze fresh fish for more than a month, chicken for 3 months, and meat for 6 months. Here are your freezer tips, okay? Make sure when you're freezing things, whether you're freezing raw meat, whether you're freezing marinated meat that you're going to cook later, or whether you're freezing kugels or soups or anything that you have prepared in advance, make sure that your freezer door is tightly closed. You don't want food contamination. You want to make sure that nothing is in the door preventing your freezer to be tightly closed. You want to make sure before you put the food in the freezer that it is completely cooled. You want to double wrap it in foil and then cover it either in a Ziploc or saran so that you can label it. You want to always keep an eye on reheating it so it doesn't dry out. Remember, anything that you've cooked in advance is already cooked, so you want to reheat it at a low temperature, covered for the first half an hour, because you don't want it to dry out. And what I recommend is anything that you cook in advance, meats or soups, defrost in the refrigerator overnight and then reheat it. Chicken or kugels or anything like that, you want to just take from the freezer right into a low temp oven at about 250, keep it covered for the first half an hour and then uncover it. Okay, we don't want to have waste. I know nobody wants to have waste, but sometimes when you shop, you just end up with extra, or you buy too much, or a company cancels, or whatever it is. I want to give you some tips for reducing waste. So one, if you buy excess produce, you can always blanch it by pouring it under boiling water just till it turns bright green, drying it off, sticking it in a Ziploc bag and freezing it. You can make chips, any kind of vegetable chips or French fries you can make. Your kids will love them, company will love them. You can put them out as an appetizer with hummus or guacamole. You can try and ferment things. You can make fermented cabbage into sauerkraut. You can make pickles out of cucumbers. You can make roasted tomatoes as a salad topper. You can roast garlic as a spread. You can swap out vegetables for something you were going to make for the next holiday, but make it now because you had extra of something else. All of those things are ways to not have excess waste. If you find that you bought vegetables that were in the refrigerator a little too long, but they're still too good to throw out, but they're not crispy enough, you can always saute them. You can always put them in a soup or a sauce, or you can always bake with them. Like overripe bananas, you can always bake with. Overripe apples, you can always bake with. Any kind of soft vegetables that are like on their way out, and even if some is spoiled, you can cut it away, put the rest in a soup or a sauce, or you can always saute it. Anything that is scraps, you can throw into a soup or a casserole. Okay. This I touched on before when I talked about planning for your leftovers, but if you find that you have leftovers, I think of leftovers as additional meal prep. When you have leftovers, it has additional meal prep, and that additional meal prep can enable you to put those leftovers into casseroles, into soups, into stir fries, into fried rice, or if you want to be really adventurous, you can make it into a veggie burger. All right. Now, because I'm a nutritionist, I believe that there should be some healthy cooking and entertaining involved. So I encourage you all to choose fresh fruits and vegetables. I encourage you to make small changes. And when I talk about small changes, like maybe switch up one new vegetable and cook one vegetable that you always make, just so that you can experience trying something new. Rosh Hashanah is all about new things. When we do those new fruits, you can absolutely try a new recipe for Rosh Hashanah. It's totally in line with the theme of Rosh Hashanah. You can also try new foods for your family to try out. You never know, maybe they'll like them. Try for balance. Okay. So what I mean for balance is, like in my house, when I cook, for every protein that I will cook at a meal, I will make a vegetable. So if at my Shabbat table or if at my holiday table, I am going to make a chicken and a meat, that is automatically 2 vegetables that I am going to make, because I like to balance everything with what I'm cooking. So for a chicken, I'll make a vegetable. If I make a meat, I'll make another vegetable. If I make a carb, then I'll make a salad. So I usually have at my holiday table a salad and 3 to 4 vegetables for whatever 1 or 2 or 3 dishes I am making, so that you end up choosing more vegetables and balancing the amount of healthy things that you have available on the table. Now, if you have company, they will appreciate it. Nobody ever comes to my house and says, oh my God, there's no kugel, there's too many vegetables. Everybody's like, always, wow, these vegetables are delicious. Wow, that salad was so good. So when you prepare things that are bright and colorful and fresh, your company is going to be inspired to eat it. And you're making it more balanced, more healthy for everybody. They're going to eat it and they're going to enjoy it. So don't feel bad when you cook extra things or put out extra vegetables, or you stop in your store when you're around the perimeter and something looks amazing that you haven't tried before. Try it out. Most vegetables, you can roast them, you can saute them, you can boil them, and trying something new is not necessarily so bad. In the guide that I am giving everybody that signed up for this class, it's going to be emailed to you. It is a comprehensive guide, like I said, but at the end of the guide, I did put an ebook in there for all of you, which has all kinds of salad dressings and marinades that you can make in advance. You can make them, you can drizzle them on your vegetables for some extra taste. You can make amazing salads and vary your dressings. So it is really cool. And I encourage you all to use it. It's things that I use in my house all the time. So I hope that you do enjoy it. Make simple swaps. So like swap out 1 or 2 things that are simple that nobody will notice, but they will appreciate. Don't fear fat. Fat is good for us. Fat slows down the digestion of the carbs that we're eating. Fat makes you feel full. Fat is used to flavor your food, and don't fear it. Okay. If you need to use a little olive oil, it's fine. If you want to use avocado or olives or guacamole or things like that, or even, I know Sharon, you don't use nuts, but if you want to use nuts, nuts are a fat. Don't fear it. Fat is good for us, and it flavors the food and enhances the taste of what you're making. And for healthy cooking and entertaining, I cannot stress enough, try something new. It is Rosh Hashanah. Try something new. Okay. Let's get to our next slide. I am having loads of technological problems today. This is not good. Here we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop here and take some questions. Do either of you have questions about what I was saying? You can unmute yourself if you have a question.
I just had a quick question about the blanching.
Yes.
You said you pour hot water over the vegetables. Like, do you put them in a colander and put hot water over it, or you throw them in boiling water and then just dump it real quick? Like, how do you find that you best blanch?
Okay, so I best blanch I put them in a non-reactive bowl, like a metal bowl or a pot. I boil water in the teapot till it boils, and I just pour it over the vegetables just until they turn bright green, and I drain them in a colander under cold water so they stop cooking.
Okay.
Jean, you have any questions?
Nope, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, so I want to tell you 3 more things, and then we're going to talk about how I can tie this into what I do so that you know a little bit more about me and what I do. I really believe in gut health. I am passionate about gut health. If you don't know me already, you know that I do things that healthy gut bacteria makes you feel good. And when you feel good, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. So if there is any time that you can try a fermented food, like you end up with extra cucumbers, make some pickles, or make some sauerkraut, or make a kombucha salad dressing, you know what I mean? Like, just try some fermented foods, because it really will boost your gut bacteria and make you feel better. The second thing I want to say is, it is a holiday period. It is Shabbat in between all your holiday periods. So you're going to have Rosh Hashanah and then Shabbat. You're going to have Rosh Hashanah and then Shabbat. And you're going to have Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur and then Shabbat, and then Simchas Torah and Shabbat. And all those holidays, you're going to have dessert. You're going to have dessert like the honey cake that Jean wants, like your apple cookies, or maybe you're going to have a kugel or whatever, a sweet apple kugel, whatever it is. If you're eating a dessert, make it worth it. Okay. And when I say make it worth it, what I mean is enjoy it, savor it, enjoy what you're eating, because if you enjoy what you're eating, it is going to nourish you and it's going to move you forward. Okay. Even if you're eating one bite about it, that's fine. It's a holiday. You should enjoy it. You can get back to your healthy goals after. Okay. Make what is easy for you. Make the holiday as easy as you can, because the less stressed you are going into the holiday, the more relaxed and happy you will be, the better your food will come out. So if you're cooking your food when you are relaxed and doing what is easy, your food will taste better. Plan what can be done in advance. I am a big proponent of planning. Okay. I'm a big proponent of planning. I plan everything. I will plan out my Rosh Hashanah menu probably next week after I get my last kid off to camp and they get into school. My kids, a week before, I will plan and I will start cooking. I already will start, like now when I cook for Shabbos, this Shabbos, I'm going to cook a little extra and I'm going to freeze it because I know I'm going to start cooking for Rosh Hashanah, and I will build those things into my plan. But whatever you can plan to do to come in, be done in advance, it will only help you. And I want to leave you with, make a schedule. Okay. You need to make a schedule. When you have a schedule, when it is in front of you, when you see it, when you can write it down and you can follow that schedule, it keeps you grounded, it keeps you organized. And as you do things, you can check them off. And as you check them off and you see that things are getting done, you will be much more relaxed and you will have a much more relaxed holiday. Now, like I said, everybody that signed up, I don't know where everybody is because 25 people signed up for this class. So whether people didn't get the emails, I'm going to have to send the emails out again. I think what I'll do is I'll just go in and get everybody's email and I will send them the recording, not through the event thing, but just through my regular email. I will send everybody a personal email with the recording because I don't know what happened. Sometimes technology is behind me, but Jean got on. So I know somebody got the email. Whatever it is, I'm going to send the recording. What you're all getting with the recording is a guide. And I just want to go over the guide with you. It does have a way for you to stock your pantry. It does have slots where you can plan what needs to be done and to make your schedule and plan out each meal. I did leave you room for shopping lists so that you can write down what you need for each meal you're planning, enough shopping lists behind each set of schedules so that you have enough. I did give you some recipes that are standbys in my house, so that things that I make all the time. And I did give you some healthy desserts that you can make. They're in small portions. They're for one or for two or for three. You can double them, triple them, quadruple them if you want to make them for everybody. But if you are concerned about your health goals and you want to just have a treat for you that's there, that you know that you won't feel guilty about, I did include some healthy dessert recipes, about 4 of them that you can make in small portions just to have, and you can make them and you can take them out at any point during the holiday. And then lastly, what I did give you was a bunch of sauces, dressings, and marinades that you can use to make your salad dressings in advance, to make rocking amazing salads. You can make your marinades and you can freeze your meat and chicken in the marinades that I gave you. And you can make the sauces as drizzles for your new vegetables that you're going to try, or as a topping for a vegetable that you plan to try. Now, I do this. What I'm all about is I am a nutritionist. I've been a nutritionist for over 20 years. My house is kosher. My house is gluten-free. And I do programs where I help people manage their weight goals within living a kosher, modern, Orthodox lifestyle. So it is very hard to manage your health goals when you have Shabbat every week and you have a holiday around the corner, and every day seems like a holiday, every day seems like Shabbat. And in between that, we are busy moms. You might be working, you may have a bunch of kids, you might be taking care of a parent, you might have house guests living with you, whatever it is, we're all busy. And I know that you're all busy. And it is very hard to find someone to keep you accountable that doesn't live that lifestyle. So I know what it means to be busy. I have my own business. I work part-time for WestMed. I have 4 kids. I have a big dog that is my responsibility because 2 of my kids are away and can't walk him. I have a busy lifestyle as well. So I know what it is to be busy, but I protect my health goals because it is important to me. So I protect my health goals in the fact that I stay well hydrated, I exercise every morning, I get enough sleep, I do prepare, like I said, healthy alternatives for every unhealthy alternative I have. I do prepare an extra healthy alternative. I do all the things like that. And I am passionate about sharing it all with you, because if I can do it, you can do it. And sometimes you just need somebody to give you something to keep you organized, give you something to keep you on track, and be there to keep you accountable when you feel stuck. So I run a program called Kosher and Crushing It. It is a 3-month program. I'm going to just tell you about it. It is a 12-week weight loss and wellness program. We have weekly live meetings. It is a way for you to not only lose weight, but also improve your wellness. So you will get recipes, shopping lists, and menus. You will get a cookbook. You have my support through a WhatsApp community. And I have based this program on what I find as the most important thing to stay healthy is your mindfulness, your healthy cooking, your exercise, your sleep, your eating habits, and your hydration. I teach you how to lose weight, how to stay hydrated, how to meal plan, how to prep, how to focus on your sleep and your exercise, how to cook things, how to understand your habits and what is problem for you, and how to put it all together and give you support. So I will tell you, the Kosher and Crushing that is going on now is ending next week. I am going to start it again the first week in October, right after the Jewish holidays. Now, why am I starting this after the Jewish holidays? I'm starting it after the Jewish holidays because I believe not only will I always put myself on a gut cleanse right after the Jewish holidays, because I know that I'm going to overeat during the holidays, or I may have a little more alcohol than I usually have, or I may have a little extra dessert. And that's okay, because we are meant to connect with our families. We are meant to connect with our kids. You are meant to connect with the guests at your table, and you want to enjoy it. But there is no reason why, when October 4th runs around and the holidays are all over and you've had 4 holidays and 4 Shabbats in between, what is not a better time than to get back on track for the rest of your life? So I am starting this program again. I am starting it on October 4th. I am going to change it up. Every time I run the program, I take the feedback from the people that are in it and I add things. So in this one, I'm going to add another live teaching during the week, and I'm going to add some live cooking to it during the program as well, because people like that as well. And it is an amazing program. So I will offer anybody that signed up for the program, I'm going to be sending you out information so that you can get a 25% discount if you want to sign up. The program is going to be starting in October, like I said, on October 4th. So I am going to open up the floor for any more questions before I stop the recording. I'm going to stop the share. Okay. And let me go back to, okay. You can unmute if you have questions before I stop the recording.
I'm wondering how much your program costs, and do you take insurance coverage?
Okay, so I do not take insurance coverage, but I can give you a receipt with my tax ID if you want to try and submit it for out-of-network benefits. This program is $774 for 3 months. You can pay it at one time, or you can separate it over 3 payments. But I will send you all that with the link so you can check it out. And if you have questions about it, I do have a tax ID number because I have been a dietitian for over 20 years. So if you wanted me to create some kind of receipt that you're doing a weight loss program, I can put it on with a tax ID and you can try and submit it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Who is there as LJ? Do you have any questions? I know you came late, but LJ, I will send you the recording from the beginning of the class. Since you missed the beginning, I'm going to send everybody the recording.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. It's going to go out in an email, but do you have any questions from what you caught from the beginning? If you have any questions that you want answered live, I will answer them now.
Oh, yeah, no, right now, I'll listen to the recording though. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. All right, Sharon, I know your questions. I will reach you later unless you have a question about anything I talked about, the meal prep and the meal planning for the Shabbat.
No, but I will just give a quick plug that I've been working with Jamie now for 2 of her programs, and I've lost almost 20 pounds. And I have to say it was almost effortless. I have to admit, I'm not so good with exercise. So this was all done, no kidding, all with her diet. I've not been hungry and I've not been dissatisfied. It's totally changed the way I look at food in my kitchen. So I highly recommend anyone who's listening to this, sign up for her course. It is worth it. Don't think it's not.
And Sharon, you are doing amazing. Even your kids are starting to like healthy food. So promoting the healthy food in your house really makes your family eat a little healthier. So I have to say, I'm so proud of Sharon that she did that, because her kids, who are very picky, are starting to eat a little healthier. And anything you teach your family, the more you show it to them, the more it happens in your house. So I will leave you with one story about that, just because I know that healthy preparing and healthy holidays works. My daughter, who is 20, she's almost 21, was the pickiest eater of all time. And I will tell you, I was one of those moms crying, whatever. I was still a nutritionist, but she would only eat white food, no crust, no taste, all bland. And I promise you, I put healthy food on the table at every meal, at every holiday. There's many vegetables. At every dinner, there is a salad, no matter what. If nobody ate it except for me, there was always a salad. And the years of putting out all those vegetables, all those salads, I can honestly tell you, I have 4 girls. They all eat vegetables. They all love fruit. They all know how to cook. They all ask for healthy things. And when they ask me to prepare things, they are requesting things that are healthy. Like they will request, salmon with avocado topping, or like a tofu dish, or can you make roasted broccoli and cauliflower? My little one that's 12 asked me if I can roast vegetables at the beginning of the week so that she can pack them for her lunch snacks. So I promise you that it works. If you plan, if you give healthy alternatives, if you organize yourself on a holiday and you put new vegetables and you're organized and you are relaxed and you go through the holiday with healthy foods that you are enjoying, and you family sees that, everybody in your house will start to eat healthier. And that is the goal, because that's what you want. You want to be happy. You want to be healthy. You want to live a long time. And the healthier that you are during a holiday, the healthier that your family, your guests, and anybody that is at your table is healthy as well. So I hope that you enjoyed this program. I hope that you thought it was informative and informational. And I hope that when you all get the email this afternoon, I hope that you love the guide. I put a lot of effort into making that guide something that you all can use to plan and prepare for your holiday, and make your September just a little easier. Okay. I'm here for you. If you have any questions, you can always email me and I will answer any of your questions. So I'll take any last questions before I sign off.
I just wanted to say thank you for doing this.
My pleasure, Jean. And I know that you're going to get the email. The guide is already on the way to everybody to sign up. So I know at least you're going to get it because you got the other one. So you'll probably see it before anyone else because it is scheduled to go out at 11 o'clock. So you will get it shortly.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Have a great day.
You
Okay.
too.
Bye, Sharon. Bye, LJ.
Bye, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.